Hello everyone, good morning, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor. So it's happening. We have Bitcoin going into the low 70s. It did not quite hit 72,000, and it did just bounce back up to 81K. Altcoins, a lot of them hit their levels. We have a lot to discuss in today's live stream, and essentially I'm going to be going over the plans now going forward and actions I am looking to take in the midst of this crypto market crash. So guys, join me along here, smash up the like button, and let's get this one started and get right into it with our crypto market overview. Big shout out to everyone here in the live chat nice and early. We got Adrian Kent with the 2 thumbs up. We got Ahad Musarat saying let's go. We got Grotto Easy here as well. Everyone got smash up the like button, make some noise in the live chat, and let's get into this. Big shout out to Lee J as well. So like I said, Bitcoin right now is at $78,350. Ethereum is at $1,557. Solana at 106. It did go below 100. Let's get right into the charts. Crypto bubbles on the day right now, mostly red. Some coins bouncing nicely. After Bitcoin hit its bottom around, what was it, like 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So anyways, let's get right into the charts and go over this. Starting off on BTC, new 2025 yearly low price has been hit just here. As we can see, it's $74,300. This was the very bottom. It essentially just swept the low from this demand zone, which again is not key liquidity. This is just kind of in no man's land. It is a level for sure, but it's not a very super important level like this one here down here at 72,000. Still expecting lower. I don't think this is over yet. All right, we did just bounce here to 81K, like I said, with a long wick up. Personally, I'm seeing that price can even go as high as 83,000 and still be a bearish retest, and I'm still expecting this to get hit down here. A lot of people are going to argue, oh, this is the low. It front ran 72 because everyone was expecting 72. And it did temporarily front run the level. Yes, it did at 74, but I think it will actually go and hit, at least 72, potentially a bit deeper into the zone, possibly into the high 60s. Regardless, what I'm looking for is lower on Bitcoin, and I don't believe the bottom to be in. If we were to bottom out here, it would be a very similar situation to what happened on March 11th, where we found a temporary bottom, but because it did not come from a strong level on a solid foundation, it was a failed rally. Okay, it was just a downtrend continuation swing. I'm talking about the March 11th bottom over here at 76,000. It was not formed from any key level, so it was a failed rally. If we're going to bottom here at 74, I would expect the exact same thing. I would expect another failed rally. In order to have the actual fuel for a real one, we have to hit key liquidity. So that's Bitcoin, did not hit its level. Ethereum, same thing, where it kind of came just short of the main $1,300 level that we called home in yesterday's live stream. We had someone saying Ethereum is coming home. So I decided to put the home label down here at the $1,300 to $1,200 price range, and that did not get hit. Price did bottom out over here at $1,411, and it is currently back above $1,500. But if Bitcoin's going to go down to 72, I would expect ETH to come down here into 1,300, and those are levels where it's a good idea to put risk on, in my very own opinion. So that's Bitcoin and Ethereum. These two charts did not hit their key levels, but every other major did. Let's show you that. Okay, here is USDT dominance. And we went over this in yesterday's live stream last night in the evening. And what we were looking out for was this 6.1% level, 6.0% to around 6.18%. As you can see, this did go as high as 6.24% with a nice long wick up, and the candle is just left this long wick. This is exactly the situation that we described that we wanted. A big spike up and then essentially leaving a long wick up into the area. Now, this hit its level, okay? What else hit its level? The total crypto market cap also hit the key level that we were talking about, that we were waiting for. This one over here, 2.38 trillion. Another situation that we were kind of hoping for, where we spike down with a long wick and then we end up closing back above, right? These are the daily time frame candles, so there's still 12 hours to go on these things, but good start so far. Okay, key level taken on the total crypto market cap as well as USDT dominance. Total 2, key level 860 billion taken. Long wick down, price remakes its way back up. Exact scenario we were kind of hoping for here. All right, so altcoins potentially have either found their bottom, or we're going to see another move to kind of retest these lows, which would be perfectly fine. Maybe even jab a bit lower. But anyways, and then the total 3 actually did not hit its level at 645 billion. It came just shy at 660 billion for the total 3. These are all altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So overall, what's happened? What's happened here? Every major except for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin dominance too. It did come back up here to 63.5, but we are somewhat expecting 66% to get hit. All right, so most of these actually hit the levels we've outlined, and Bitcoin and Ethereum did not. Again, if we're going to see an actual sustained type of rally, I think we need to grab the fuel to do so, and that's down here at 72,000 for BTC. So all in all, my summary of the market right now is when the total and total 2, hit their levels. If you had limit orders on altcoins, we went over a few plans yesterday. Some of them did get hit. For example, on something like Dogecoin got hit. Well, then, you should be obviously in that position now, and prices have all bounced from those levels, right? So you can consider, taking chips off of the table, managing the trade. However, I don't think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin yet. Plain and simple, straight up, layman's terms, the bottom is not in for Bitcoin in my opinion. I'm still expecting this to go a bit lower. When is that going to happen? It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it happens today. It does appear like they are just ripping the Band-Aid off and making it happen. Now, also at the same time, we have a lot of news in regards to the tariffs continuing to come in. As we can see here from the Watcher Guru Twitter account, first of all, $200 million liquidated from the crypto market in the past hour alone on that swing to the upside. Everyone piles into shorts at the bottom only to get blown out on a little temporary short squeeze. That's classic stuff. 200 million gone in the past hour because everyone just wants to short the lows. It's absolutely idiotic. But anyways, we can see Trump is considering a 90-day pause, except for all countries except for China. They're trying to program people to think it's a bear market, right? S&P 500 officially enters bear market territory. They want to program the world right now to think that the bear market is just starting now. This is classic whale bait. This is a classic whale trap. Prices have been accelerating downwards for the past, 60 to 90 days plus. And now they're saying everything is entering into a bear market. Again, we have to use some critical thinking here. I think a little bit outside the box. The sheep are going to believe this, but we want to be a step ahead of those people and understand that, okay, if they're all saying bear market and it's going to go lower, we're probably going to get a really bullish reversal soon, don't you think? If you've learned anything about how market psychology works, wouldn't that make perfect sense? I certainly do believe so, which again is why I have been saying, right, I think the bottom is going to be close here at 72,000 for Bitcoin, and that's a large probability level to see a big bullish reversal after that. So the whale traps are set. They want people to be conditioned to think that the bear market is starting and everything's going to get smoked and go super lower now, but it's been happening for months, and that's when the tide is actually going to shift and the reversal is going to happen. And that time, it's actually right now. And like Trump says, don't be weak, don't be stupid, don't panic. Look, Trump is funny, Trump is awesome, but as a politician, He's just another politician at the end of the day, right? So you can't really trust what he says. And yeah, he doesn't need to buy your vote anymore. But anyways, that's what's going on in the news right now. Let's see what's going on here in our live chat. Abu says, you are our savior. I wouldn't say that, Abu. I mean, I'm just a guy who likes to share his market analysis on YouTube, but I'm glad you find value from it. We also got Dan Griffiths. What's up, Dan? He says, what's up, bro? Nothing much. Happy to be up here on the live stream. Guys, smash up the like button if you're just tuning in right now. Again, the Bitcoin bottom, in my opinion, is not quite in just yet. We can still have a bearish retest as high as 83,000. Right now, this is just a short squeeze. This is to get all the late bottom shorters liquidated and stopped out for doing foolish things like shorting a move that's down like 25% from the all-time high a few months ago. Very close to a key demand zone, key liquidity level. This is just a short squeeze. We can see it go as high as 83,000. I'm still expecting 72 to get hit on Bitcoin. I don't think the bottom is in. So that's what's up. That is what's up. Shout out to Sank2Run saying hello, what's going on? And we also got Declan Wyatt, what's up? HD and Eric Royston, good morning, guys. And we also got Elvis, what's going on? We got Bullish on Parade, good to see you, my man. Richie as well, what's going on, Richie? Using his time productively. And we also got Renum, Glasshopper, All Day Dre in the building. Mark Bass, King Louie. And we got Ngor Benjamin, and we got Florent 1980, my man Florent, what is going on? And Crypto Mike, we got everyone here. Love seeing everyone in the live chat. A lot of activity this morning. Guys, smash up the like button. So let's go over some trades we talked about in yesterday's live stream and see how they have actually progressed in today's market with our recent developments of Bitcoin going down to 74,000. So the plan for Tau was to set limit orders between around 160, right? The low over here at 162 and $120 down here. Okay, that was my plan. It still is my plan. And unfortunately, this one, similar to BTC, I still think it's going to get hit. Let me make that clear. I haven't removed anything from exchanges, but we had a low over here at $167. So it came around $7 short of my first kind of layer of buy orders, which is fine. That happens. I'm still expecting price to come into this level if and when Bitcoin does go down to 72,000, and I think that's going to be today. But sometimes your orders miss. That's just the game, folks. I still think these orders are going to hit, though. All right, so that was Tau. We also talked about Dogecoin. And the plan for Doge was quite simple. As you can see here, I put this out yesterday before the stream. I did talk about it in the stream as well, but quite simple. Limit orders between 14 cents and 12 cents, with the bulk of the orders at 13 cents, plus or minus a few tenths of a cent. Well, what do we have here on Dogecoin? We got a nice long wick. Where is that nice long wick to? To my line exactly, folks. Right at just below 12 cents or below 13 cents. A few tenths of a penny below 13 cents. Kind of like magic. All right, so beautiful limit orders worked out here. And price is already up 14.5% from that 13 cent level. It is still possible that Dogecoin does want to come down a bit lower and maybe hit 12 cents. The 88.6 fib is at 12.6 cents. So quite possibly not yet the bottom for Doge, but it could be. And that's why I had limit orders right here that got hit to the tick. You love to see it. So sometimes the plans do work out, and they did here. Some other alts, right? A lot of them did hit key levels. Something like Aptos hit levels I've had outlined for a long time here. As we can see here, so Aptos, the levels we were waiting for, we had 416 and also around 385, 390. And as you can see, the low price over here was $3.89.3. So another one, right? If you just wait for these to get hit, you see really strong bounces immediately. Many opportunities were fulfilled overnight. And fortunately, I had limits on Doge that got hit. Like I said, Tau, those did not get filled, but I do think they will. Now, Caspa, let's go look at CAS, because Caspa also, it came right into, what's the low price? 5.27 cents. Let's remove this label that we have here. Okay, so it kind of came just shy. It just hit this wick. Caspa potentially going to drop a bit lower here, closer to 5 cents and maybe the high fours, like 4.8, 4.9 cents, but very close. Very similar to Tau right now. This is an optimal bullish reversal level. This is a key demand zone. This is a discount price or a wholesale price. When you go shop at Costco and they have those huge boxes of stuff and food, and it's a good price, it's a wholesale price, and you want to buy it wholesale. These are wholesale prices. All right, retail prices, when you go shop at the super expensive, posh market in the wealthy town, you pay up here, you pay the premium. All right, so we want to buy it wholesale and sell at retail. We are essentially at wholesale prices with the possibility of prices going a smidge lower. It is the time to buy. It is the time to be expecting a reversal. However, we can wait for the ultimate confluence, which would be Bitcoin to 72,000. All right, I really want to see that get hit to essentially confirm, right, a bullish reversal. Because again, a bottom over here at 74 makes 0 sense. It will be another failed rally. It will be another letdown. It will be another bearish retest. Let me move this. Right, just like over here. Failed rally. If we bottom here, I think it will be another failed rally. So we really want to see 72,000 get hit down here. Plain and simple. Not complicated at all. All right, what else is going on here in the chat? Whoops. A little jerky with that water glass. Got some on my shirt, but it's all right. Anyways, Green Chili Pepper says, thanks for your analysis, Connor. Provides certainty in how the market is working when everyone is freaking out. Keep calm and crypto empire on. I like that one, Green Chili Pepper. I might have to make a shirt that says that. Maybe. Keep calm and crypto empire on. That is a good one. Jock Brawl Stars, should I buy any coin right now? Well, that's totally up to you, right? I gave several plans. Some of them worked out, and the limit orders fired off. The buy orders did get hit. Some I'm still expecting lower. Overall, the grand scheme of things, looking at the total crypto market cap, say on the 1 month time frame, yes, I think it's a good idea to be looking to buy coins. Of course, it would have been better to buy coins when price was in, or the total market cap was in the key level, which is why you need a plan for it, because sometimes it might happen, right? If you're like myself and you live on the East Coast, sometimes that might happen at 2 a.m. in the morning. And if you have a normal sleep schedule and you care about your circadian rhythm, you're going to go to bed at like 11 o'clock so you can wake up at like 6 or 7 fresh in the morning. So you'll be asleep at 2 a.m. and you'll miss it. So if you didn't plan for it, you won't be able to capitalize on the opportunity. So should you buy anything right now, it would have been a lot better to do it at 2 a.m. when price was at the key level, right? That's why we can use tools like limit orders that are going to automatically buy for us when price reaches the level we've been waiting for. So that's how I would answer the question, should you buy something now? Did you plan to buy something at a lower price? Right? Because I've been thinking about this for a long time now, and I've been expecting this, and I've been preparing for it. If you just woke up today with crust still in your eyes, should I buy something today? Like, probably not. You don't really have the right mindset to put risk on, money, capital in this competitive financial market. You still got your morning crud in your eyes, so... Not a personal attack, right? That's just the reality for the majority of people. Let's see. PG says KeyCat is not going sub 20. Is it a good buy now? Good question there, PG. So both Miggles, as you can see, Mr. Miggles, 22.9 million market cap, and the Keyboard Cat is at 24 million market cap. Are they good buys now? Yes. They are good buys now. They are good buys now. Again, the total 2 hit its key level down. All right, let's go to the total 2. Total 2 hit its key level down here at 860 billion. It's currently at 900 billion. Again, you know, the perfect time would have been when this was down at 860 or below. It's already back up to 900 billion, but that happened, like I said, at 2 a.m. So maybe you're just like getting into things now. It's still a great price, okay? It bottomed out at 22 million. It's at 24 million. So it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it drops. That would be steep if it goes to 12, 13, which was the previous bottom. All right, so it's possible that happens, but even if it did, the idea is all of these prices down here, again, they're wholesale rates. Even if it drops another 20, 30, even 50%, it would still be, you know, you would still be all right in the long run because you're buying relatively low compared to the potential of it going back up into the hundreds of millions of market cap. So yeah, you know, it's a good buy now, I think. Same thing with, like we just showed on Miggles. Same thing, and yeah, I mean, look, 23 mil market cap. It bottomed out at 20 million. It's right there. So yeah, both of these would be like the top coins on base, in my opinion, to be buying. Sorry if you can hear those sirens. It was very loud. But yeah, it's, again, we talked about this, I think it was on Friday's live stream, in the sense that we had the buy program start here on August 5th. We had the sell program start over here in early December. Okay, so we had a buy program for $124 days, and then we had a sell program for potentially here 121 days. Pretty similar in the timing, huh? Pretty crazy. Woo! Almost the exact same length of time. And now we are essentially anticipating the buy program to be starting, like, might be today. Excuse me, it's a sneeze. It went away. Today, let's say it starts today. Okay, so that means we can expect, I don't really know how it's going to go in the future, but I do know that this is an optimal level to see a bullish reversal. If it's going to be more of the same, where we get like 120 days, 4 months of up, that would go until August. But personally, I'm treating this like bullish bounce I've been talking about. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy roaring bull market it's going to lead to, right? I'm just looking to take a swing higher. And ultimately, I do expect this to, you know, not necessarily go and be a roaring bull market to like 5 trillion for altcoins like many people expect. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see like tests up here, and then potentially lower, finding a bottom, and then actually going for a mega run again. But, you know, overall, that's how I'm looking at things right now. All I'm focused on is the short-term present. Let's talk about like the future 3 months, you know, as time does go on. Let's focus on the immediate short term here. And just the immediate short term, we're looking for, again, another buy program to start, similar to what happened on August 5th. And the signs are, the writing's on the wall. Again, they're trying to convince the retail world, the normal people, that a bear market is just starting right now. And it's a very obvious whale trap. And it's a very obvious buy program that's starting up in crypto again, like right around these times. So overall, it's a good idea to be looking to buy any strong coin with a good narrative, good technicals right now. Whatever you've been eyeing, it's like time. It's time now. And it would be great if Bitcoin would go to 72,000, get it over with. That would give us extra confirmation that we have this buy program starting up like today, this week. Anyways, shout out to Declan. He says, smash the like button. This is fire technical analysis. Appreciate that, Declan. We got Kit Guakusan says, thanks, Connor. No problem, Kit. Thank you. FBS says, thanks for preparing us for this drop from the last months. Had been preparing. Awesome to hear that, FBS. We also have Narala says, hi, Connor. Nice to see you. Thanks for the good work. No problem. Appreciate the support. And we also have Dre asking, are we going to see $1,200 Ethereum? Great question, Dre. Did we look at ETH? I think we already looked at it, but what we're looking for is Ethereum to come home. And shout out to whoever said that in the live chat yesterday in the stream. Will we see 1,200? I do expect this $1,300 to $1,200 level to be hit. And that should line up really well with Bitcoin hitting 72,000. So I don't think the bottom is in for Ethereum. I don't think the bottom is in just yet for Bitcoin, but we are very, very close to the potential bottom and bullish reversal levels. We're right there, just a little lower. One quick jerky wick is all it takes. All it needs to do is just touch the liquidity and that would be a technical confirmation. Right? That's taking the level. Just a little wick and right back up. That's all we need. It can happen in like a second, in a moment's notice. So yeah, probably do see $1,300 to $1,200 Ethereum. We have Crypto Tierra as well. What is going on? It says, hey, Connor and CE fam. I was finally able to catch the stream after a while. Good to be here. Great to be here. Awesome. I'm glad you were able to make it today. We got Crypto Mike saying, been watching our levels and all the majors. Still waiting for Bitcoin and ETH. My man, Crypto Mike, charting on his own, doing his thing. Love to hear that, Crypto Mike. And we have D'Angelo Gideon. He says, I see this day as a day of continuous opportunity. I agree with that. Looking forward to the months to come afterwards. And Bullish on Parade says, Connor, dominance on the monthly zoom out. Do you see an inverted cup and handle? Dominance on the monthly. So when you say inverted cup and handle, a regular cup and handle is this direction, right? So an inverted would be like the opposite, in my opinion. But what we can do is we can get a little bit creative. Let me just clean this up before I get a little bit creative here. Get rid of some of these. All right, get rid of all this. We don't need it. And what we can do is invert the chart. And with an inverted chart, right, we have dominance going on this 3-4 year uptrend, 3-year uptrend from 2022 bottoming out. This is actually up. Remember, this is an inverted chart. It's upside down. So ultimately what we want to see is dominance to hit the level over here at 46%. 46% likely to be a macro top level for altcoins. We've been talking about the third spike to 66% to complete this triple drive, right? Be a little 1, 2, 3. But cup and handle inverted Like I kind of understand. I do understand what it is, but I'm not really like seeing it perfectly. I wouldn't call it like a cup and handle. I don't think that's an applicable chart pattern to apply to this personally. I'm kind of looking at it differently. But yeah, we're coming up to 66%, which is kind of where to look for the big reversal. And probably for this bounce that I've been speaking of that's going to happen, we're going to go to 53%. Okay, so this is a bullish level, or this is actually a bearish level, sorry. Why is this a bearish level? Because when dominance is dropping to this point, altcoins will be pumping. And when dominance reaches a bearish level, it's going to hit and probably go back up, meaning altcoins will like top out there. And that's at 53.6%. All right, so that's an important level. And then down here at 46% is also very, very important. That's another bearish reversal level on dominance. So if that wasn't clear and you're still like unsure of what I just said right there, if and when Bitcoin dominance comes down to 53.6%, that's a level you want to take risk off and sell altcoins. And ultimately, the macro target's at 46%. And that is also another place where you want to exit all positions. You want to sell them all. Because if there's one thing I've learned, I was bearish on a lot of coins, right? I do these live streams and people ask me, Connor, what do you think about this coin? What do you think about this altcoin? What about this one? And I'll tell you, I don't like that. I'm bearish on that one. I don't think it will do well. But a big mistake I made was I was bullish on coins while being bearish on others. But crypto, it's like it all moves together, all right? So if you think an altcoin's going to go down and another altcoin's going to go up, that's kind of the wrong mindset, in the sense that the most important thing is the overall market, because no altcoin is immune to bearish price action. Everything will get smoked no matter what in a downtrend. All right, so anyways, that is Bitcoin dominance. Crypto Mike, he says, you are the best, bro. Thank you so much. No problem, man. Glad you find the live streams and analysis helpful. And the like button smashed. Great to hear that. And Dan says, total 2 hit 836 bill. Yes, it did, Dan. So the level for the total 2, again, that we described as our key level was 860 billion here, as you can see, with the nice key to make it very clear that this is a key level. All right, so we had the nice wick down. We bottomed out around 830 billion, and we're back up to like 900 billion. This is what I mean, right? Where we just need to see the wick. This is all we need. This is the level taken. That's all we got to see on Bitcoin and ETH now to confirm this bottom. That's all I'm looking for. It's very, very close. Sam Fox, Dogecoin bottom. Did we research that? I hope that's sarcastic and that you were watching the stream yesterday, because we did indeed research this, and this is what we were waiting for. And again, this was given ahead of time in the Mastermind. Expecting the bottom between 14 and 12 cents, with the bulk of the orders at 13. I do still think this can potentially go to 12 cents, like I already said earlier in the stream. But, we were ready for this. And we caught it down here at 13 cents. HD, nah, they ain't coming for me, man. And let's see, those sirens were whales coming in to stop you from enlightening us normies from their manipulation. Probably. That's probably more of a accurate answer, but yeah, I mean, it's the whales probably look at this if they are watching, like any of them, and they're like, this guy, he gets what, like 100 people in his streams. It's, let him do it. It's not like, because it's not like I'm waking up the masses or anything like that. I have a small audience. Pluto is Frosty says we could range here for a while, right? Could we range here for a while? Not necessarily, no. This can happen very quick. Like, you know, look how quick Doge was down here. Look how much time it spent at 13 cents. 1 hour, about an hour. And it's already like, what, 15% higher? So yeah, I mean, we could potentially range for a bit, but I think that when Bitcoin specifically grabs its fuel for the rally, it can be a pretty quick acceleration. All right, maybe like a day or two or something. I wouldn't expect a long, like 6-month range like we had in over here. All right. But even still, right, even when we grabbed the key liquidity on August 5th at 49,000, you know, it did end up ranging for around another month, you could say. But price traded like 20% higher from that bottom before ultimately going on a mega breakout. But no, I wouldn't be expecting like a long drawn out range down here at these lows. I would be treating it as a very short window of opportunity to capitalize on. Remember that diagram I drew out about the windows of opportunity, and you only have a very brief amount of time to capitalize on them before those windows close? This is no different. The window of opportunity will ultimately pass here with these low prices, and we'll bounce. We'll have, price more likely than not come back up here 95 to 100K. Everyone once again will be saying that the bull run is just starting, only for the whales to go ahead and make them cry once again by absolutely nuking crypto again. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's see. Abu says, how far the false rally of ETH can go? Like you said, Bitcoin to 83. Good question. $17.50. Yeah, I'd say to around 1700 to 1750. Although, hold on. It's a different chart, different look. All right, so coincidentally enough, I haven't even taken a fib measurement except for right now. So the 50% of this move, this swing from 2,100 down to 1,400, the 50% is right at 1,750. All right, and the 38.2 is at 1,675. So these are the two levels I would be looking at, 1,675 and 1,750 between here. And like I said, Bitcoin potentially short squeeze up as high as 83, but I still think we'll hit that level at 72. Let's see. Chris says, hi, Connor. When you buy with limit orders, do you split the capital you want to deploy in chunks and you buy at different levels, expecting to buy potentially even lower? So yeah, like for example here, when I put out the Tau trade, planning for it, I said I have peppered orders between 159 and 130. Like if I were to show you my exchange, the amount of lines, the amount of orders I have in that, they're everywhere, like peppered everywhere. So, I pick my zone and I pepper orders there. And then the other question was, do you want to deploy in chunks and buy at different levels, expecting to buy potentially even lower? So, yeah, like I just said, they are chunked up in between a pretty broad zone. And, if Tau was to, the example we're using here is on Tau, right? I don't really want to see this go below like 119. That would be pretty bad news in my opinion. That's like 40% lower than the current market price. So yeah, at that point, that's like invalidation. I don't want to buy that low because I don't think it should go that low without something being seriously wrong. But I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Anwahi says, sir, you were pretty arrogant compared to other crypto YouTubers. You act like your technical analysis is the truth and all others are lying. If you read this far, this is actually a compliment. Good job. Thank you, Anwahi. That's a very nice thing to say, and I'm glad that you appreciate the no nonsense approach I take. I'm just being me, talking like how I talk and delivering the message like I just being me. So I'm glad that you don't find it. You say it's arrogant, but you like it, so that's cool. Thanks for the support. Let's see, Jock Brawl Stars. What should I buy at the moment? I got a few $100 on me. So if you have a few $100, buying Bitcoin at 72 and having it go back up to even 100K, like a 28% move, that ain't going to do much for you. If you only have a few $100, you're probably going to have to go really far out on the risk curve. All right, so I would be looking into the base coins we talked about, stuff like Miggles or KeyCat. Those are decent options. Something like Apu as well. Apu at 40 million. I like it. I think this is a good ETH beta in a great buy zone right now. So, if you have a few $100, Bitcoin going up 20% isn't going to do much for you. You're going to have to go really high out on the risk curve. I would be looking at speculative, actual solid meme coins that we know aren't rug pulls. And these ones that I just discussed, I think, are decent choices for that. And let's see, Shuaho, would you buy TARS AI now? TAI, let's take a look at this. So it looks like it did come down to my level. It swept these lows from over here. So look, if you want to expose, would I buy it now is the question. Not necessarily, no. It wasn't in my plans to buy this coin, right? The AI coin I've been planning for is Tau. So that's my answer. Sportgram, thank you. No problem, Sportgram. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on says, what's the main reason for crypto and stocks to crash? Of course, the main answer most people would give you are tariffs. Ooh, looks like they deleted this tweet here about Trump pausing tariffs for 90 countries except for China. But the main consensus answer would be like on the news, the tariffs, but it's really just price going from liquidity to liquidity. So that's all it is. And who moves the price from liquidity to liquidity? Take a guess. The whales do. So let's see. Trump says countries from all over the world have reached out to negotiate new trade deals and more tariffs on China. So I wanted to show this tweet from Alex Becker. So he said this morning, he says, you were legit looking at a clean 4x on ETH here. So he's saying Ethereum to like $6,000 and a 2x on Bitcoin in worst case scenarios, 5 to 10x's on boring top altcoins. These lows are fuel for the next all-time high. So again, Alex Becker, I agree in the sense that the lows are fuel, but I don't think the lows are quite in just yet, like I said. But these numbers are pulled out of left field. All right, this is like, it's just him yapping again. Dude's a professional yapper when it comes to crypto. So I wouldn't take him too seriously, but I agree in the sense that, we're collecting the fuel. And I wouldn't even say for like, I don't know. He's expecting a full-blown bull market after this. I'm not expecting that. Jock says, should I buy ETH right now? It's not the worst time to be a buyer of ETH. Absolutely not the worst time at all. However, if you want to put like a limit order down here at 1,300, I think there's a decent chance it would get filled, but you need to make this decision on your own because I don't give financial advice. So you're asking, should you buy it? That's a question only you can answer. I can go over, what I think is a good move to do that I would do, but I can't give you that answer directly. And, Yeah, I still expect it to go a little bit lower here, but in the long run, I think $1,500 is a good price for the asset. And also, it didn't quite test the 2017 all-time high. It came just shy of it with a low at 1411. The 2017 all-time high is at 1365. So that didn't even get hit. It didn't even get hit. But yeah, the fact that the total two all hit their key levels respectively, it's pretty interesting. Others as well, as you can see, filled the lower level at 179 billion. The low is actually 175 bill for others, right? The market cap, excluding the top 10, came into the lower level, long wick, back up. So, I mean, everything hit their key levels except for Bitcoin and ETH. But if it's going to rally from here, it's going to fail. It needs fuel to actually sustain. Let's see, Soulless FN. Not sure what that comment is referring to. And people asking about Chainlink. Link. So Link did come down and not quite hit my line, but probably would have been better off putting in a zone, right? Because lines give you just one specific price. A zone gives you a broader area to hit, which is better for TA, because trying to be like exact is, right, you can miss a lot doing that. But anyways, Link just front ran $10. Now, if we do in fact see Bitcoin go down to 72, potentially we see this drop a bit lower, although this could have been it for sure. If it was to drop a bit lower, $8, same exact bottom level from August 5th. Potentially we'll see that, or we'll see 950. This one not as clear, and I really haven't been prepping for for this situation on Chainlink. Let's see what else. AVAX on the weekly. So you can see I have two areas. I have this wider orange one, and I have this yellow demand zone here. Yellow demand zone hasn't been hit, and that is from $14.26 to $12.50. So I think this one, just like Tau a bit lower, Dogecoin maybe a bit lower. I think that this can happen from $14.50 to $12.50 on AVAX. That looks like a great trade opportunity. And what we can do, if we have these really broad areas, it's quite simple. We can just take the fib and just use the 50% tool, and we get the exact middle of our broad zone, and good chance that price does hit this. Sometimes this can backfire and end up screwing you. For example, this screwed me big time when I was looking to short Barachain. This is comical. This is actually comical. I put sell orders at the exact 50% of this supply zone, and I put it at $8.98. The high was $8.96.9. So I missed by 1 penny and 1/10 of a cent. So you're not going to catch them all. And this, of course, dropped 60% from this point. So yeah, unfortunately, you won't be able to catch them all. 55%, currently down 51%. But in general, you'll catch a lot more trades at better entries if you take the 50% of zones. Sometimes it ends up screwing you in the ass, but that's just the reality of this game. That was so comical. Pissed me off. Let's take a look at Polkadot. So Polkadot at the lowest prices since 2020, 5 years ago. And Polkadot Bitcoin at all-time low prices. Polkadot versus BTC. All right, so Polkadot. Now, some people are bullish on Polkadot, like back up to $50. You know, the current price at $3.60. Market cap at 5.4 billion. So, you know, that would be back up to like 50, 60 billion, which was the, let's just look real quick. What was the high? The high market cap from the 2021 cycle with DOT, it was around 55 billion. I'm not sure DOT back up to 50. That seems a little far-fetched, but you know, we could see, for example, back up to 16, 17. That makes a lot more sense, and that would still be over a 4x from current prices. If you're a spot buyer and you have the patience to hold something, like I would never personally buy Polkadot, but it looks way too good to pass up on. As like a value type of investor, like this is the stuff you look for. You know, breaking 4-year lows. Like this is a World Economic Forum coin too. So probably not going to disappear. But you know, I didn't plan on buying Polkadot. I don't want to support Polkadot. I don't want to be a holder of their coin. So I'm not going to buy it, but it would make a lot of sense to be a buyer of DOT here, in my opinion. It's the lowest price since 5 years ago. So, yeah, it's destroyed, but probably a decent chance you see, you know, at least you'll see like $10 again, which was the highs of this cycle. But, yeah, I don't want to buy DOT personally. I don't want to hold this coin. Let's see. Ngor Benjamin, how can we have over 112 people watching and just 50 something likes? Damn. Are you paying for likes? Click the like button, guys. Like my guy Ngor said, click the like button, smash the like button, show some support for Crypto Empire. Let's see, Bergen County Real Estate. Any thoughts on prop chain or prop base? So they're real world asset coins. And prop chain has been around for quite a while. Let's actually go look at the real world asset watch list. I want to go through this, so let's go through this real quick. But yeah, Bergen County Real Estate, like those are lower market cap real world asset coins. So look, if we look at Ondo real quick though, again, the key level was at 65 cents. The low that was hit was 66.42 cents. Which again is why I will typically use zones, because it's hard to get that exact price. But again, another kind of successful level. Pendle stronger, RSR also stronger. Centrifuge dropping really hard. New all-time lows. This is, so as a general rule of thumb, When something breaks like this, like when you break the bear market lows convincingly like this with like 2 weekly closes below it, you don't want to be a buyer of a coin. Like you want to buy strong relative strength, right? So RSR, look how it's just still in an uptrend with higher lows, right? This would make a lot more sense to be a buyer of than something like Centrifuge, which can't hold a support level for the life of it. So relative strength is important, right? Goldfinch here, it's holding the lows, right? It hasn't like breached lows yet, so this would also be valid. Maple as well. This looks like a deviation from the range. This looks like it could be a good buy for a real world asset coin. RWA. Chintai. This is checks. Another one, right? This looks like it's in a key level, but it's not breaking bear market lows. So this is another valid, it's showing relative strength. It's stronger relatively than other RWA coins. Relio also, it hasn't broken the bear market lows, has retested them. It would still be valid, right? It's not as strong as something like, say, RSR. It's much lower in market cap, but it's, as long as it's not breaching these critical lows and closing weekly candles below them, it's still valid to see a solid bounce. IXS failed. I would never buy that coin. I thought about it a lot, but never did. Let's see. Polytrade looks weak as heck. Swarm Markets very weak too. But it's such a micro cap. And Parcel destroyed. So I knew. Look, a lot of people were not happy with me in my group because I said not to buy this thing over here at 11 cents and it ended up going to like 70. But I thought it was a scam. So that's why I didn't buy it. I thought it was too risky. It did end up, doing a 7x, but, now it's down here and it broke the lows. Like, this is not a coin to buy. Zero relative strength, and it's super, super weak. But, yeah, I thought this thing was a scam over here at the 12-cent bottom, and I said, nah, I don't want to buy it. It did do a 7x. So that was the wrong move at the time, but this price action, like, what the heck is this? This shows that it was just another Solana house of cards. This was a Solana real world asset coin. Look at the chart, especially because we just went over all the other RWA charts. All right, this is that's fishy. This looks like a rug, to be honest with you. Slow rug. That's Parcel for you. Bricken looks good. And we're back to Ondo. So, yeah, we just went through a lot of RWA coins there. And Prop C. It's tough. Doesn't look the best. And Prop Base. Also looks like shit. So, I don't really fancy those. Bergen County Real Estate. Let's see. What's your take on Murad's pick/thesis? Don't take it literally. Like, don't actually believe that SPX 6900 will go to 100 billion market cap. I think picks like Apu are good. SPX, not bad. What's that at? Okay. Could be. I think that overall, like, his meme coins are not rug pulls in the sense where, he's launching on Pump Fund and he's shilling them and he's paying a bunch of influencers and then they're just going to rug pull you and it's going to disappear tomorrow. Right? I do think he cares about like building a community and things like that and all of that, but don't take his numbers literally or you will be left broke and holding worthless tokens in a bear market. Why do I call myself the crypto vampire? I have never once called myself the crypto vampire. uh, and somebody asking about Cubic Network. So let's go check out Safe Trade so we can get all the data. So on the Safe Trade exchange, Cubic is at its potential bottom. Maybe it comes into like the 600, like where my first order was $600 per billion. It's currently 969 per billion. But yeah, like it's back down to its original prices when it first existed, like when it first launched. So I would expect these levels to act as a bottom, especially given that it's happening simultaneously with the total market cap grabbing its key level, the total 2 grabbing its key level, others doing it as well. Total 3 didn't quite hit it, but it came 10 billion shy of it. So yeah, I mean, again, I think this is more likely than not it, or maybe it will come a little bit lower to like 600 per billion, which is actually still a substantial drop even from this current price, because that would be what, a 30% drop. But yeah, we'll see. Again, all we're looking for, guys, all we're looking for anyone just tuning into the stream now, we're looking for confirmation that it's the bottom. We had all the majors except for Bitcoin and Ethereum hit their levels. So we want to see Bitcoin hit 72. That's 8% lower, 8 to 10% lower we're looking for from the current market price. And we're looking for Ethereum also to come home, which is going to be at 1,300 to 1,200. We're looking at 16% to 23%, essentially like double Bitcoin's drop we're looking for. Makes perfect sense to me. Overall, some altcoins hit their limit orders, some did not. I still have them in for Tau, and I still have them lower for stuff like Doge. I think it's a good time in general to be buying things like Miggles or KeyCat or Apu or any other base coins you're into. Whatever you've been planning for, like, now is the time to act. A buy program is beginning, and the signs are all there. The only thing we need now for confirmation is Bitcoin to hit 72,000, and we are good to go and we're ready to rock and roll. I already talked about Caspa. I went over Caspa earlier in the stream, guys. You can rewind to that. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this live stream, guys. And I hope you were able to not be totally like shocked by these prices and this crash, because hopefully you've been watching the live streams here in the channel and you would have heard me describing this scenario happening for quite some time now, and now it's happening. All right, so yeah, hope you guys like this live stream. A little morning power hour for everyone watching around the world, and smash up the like button if you haven't smashed the like button just yet. Hopefully you guys did also make some money during this volatile, turbulent time, whether you decided to short or whether you decided to long the key levels that hit at 2 a.m. overnight. Hopefully you guys were able to put some profit in your pockets and get ready for the next phase of this market. Like I said, buy program starting up, and it's going to be fun times. It's going to be fun times, and it's always good to be actually like prepared for it ahead of time. So that way you can actually, make money from it. So that's my goal here on the channel, to keep people prepared a step ahead of the retail that just gets led to the slaughterhouse consistently. If you guys do appreciate that and you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. That's all I got for today, folks. I'll see you all tomorrow. I got a video coming out, so be on the lookout for that. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified immediately when that video is posted. And have a great rest of your day. I'm going to stay locked in. I got to run some errands and stuff, but for the most part, I will be at my desk, obviously taking advantage of this volatility. So looking forward to it, and I'll see all you guys tomorrow. Smash up the like button. Connor from Crypto Empire signing out.